skin, not hammered onto a tablet of stone. The weight of the world has been set down on this, a flimsy skin too easily thrown away, its promises faded to brown, stretched thin. What was this thing when it began, but grease on a palm, a bit of haggling, a bargain struck over tally sticks? But here, between the strokes of the pen, something shifts and turns, something released out of creases and folds. In the breath left behind by the words on the page, skin reappears, the faces of women and men, a watermark swimming out of an age, as if its power was always meant to be the space between, the space kept free.
The scribe. I choose my 50 plumes, each quill a flight feather from the wing of a swan. Take pen, knife to shave it sharp as the steel my father hones to cut the sod on the hill. His furrow-long strip, his little acreage worked with beam and blade under the sun. A scrap of land laid open like my page, scoured, stretched sheepskin, ready for my pen. I labour with my brother scribes till dusk, sharpen the stylus to a beak and dip in oak gall crushed with soot, one sip of ink at a time. Bow to the task. My heart beats to the Latin monotone as I work my line to the end and turn till my fingers cramp and my eyes burn. Scribe, ploughman, each works his furrow alone. Out in the garden, on the singing woods, hear canticle of blackbird, psalm of thrush, the season's holy offices from lauds to vespers. This earthy blood rush of fertility eases heart and hand. When in 100 years, 700 more, summer spreads its long light on the land, will this, my burden of scribed words, still stand?
And my poem's called Anonymous, as so many poets are. The king didn't sign, but a scribe with a fair hand wrote it all down. And the king thought the men in the meadow bastards for taking the shine off the crown. Afterwards fumed, fitted, foamed at the mouth. Those from the north rode north, not believing a word they'd heard from the weasel king who'd taxed the fart from your arse and sharpened their falchions. Nice meadow, Runnymede, where an English oak made a mirror of shade next to the Thames, where a knight could kick off his boots to paddle in clover, a horse lifting its tail to crap, a bishop pissing into the river, the king like a chess piece, wooden, white, a pawn of a page from the distant castle. Let widows and nuns take up their needles, sew the scene into tapestry, but not those mongrels at it under the tree. Green thread for the tunic of the pretty page, rust for his hair, his face pink as the peach he passed to the king on a pewter plate. His life nought to no one, then or now, except he was there, like the swans, the dragonflies, the wasp circling the sucked, chucked pit of a droop. Drop no stitch, for here comes the bit where the boss baron stands to intone the grave nuances of the grievances. Quod Anglicana Ecclesia libera sit. Now, I was a luckless loutess of a troubadour, off stage as it were, mending my lute on the river bank. I kenned not then that my posthumous fame would rest in anonymous. And I earwigged in as those wadded counts laid it down to the king, and another thing, and another thing. The field had filled with tents, servants, banners, mounts, and being the girl of a villain who died unfree, I reckon this business had nothing to do with me. Earls and barons are not to be immersed save by their peers. Though I sharpened my ears at una mensura vini through all our kingdom and one measure of ale. I'd been on the road for a year, and a bard likes to guarantee the size of her beer. But when I heard, to no one will we sell, to no one will we deny or delay right or justice, I thought, too bloody right. I strummed in key. The words brightened the air, like poetry